guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I am super excited because we're going to be attempting to find a table and transform said table into my dream table. Now, I've been seeing a specific style of table, which I will insert on the screen, that is so stunning, and I've been seeing them for $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. I've only seen them at high-end websites, and they look so nice, so on trend, everything I could ever want in a table. However, will I ever spend $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 on a dining table? Probably unlikely. So I thought it'd be really fun to try and find a base table that I could work with and flip it into my dream table and hopefully give you some inspiration for designer worthy furniture that you can totally do yourself as well. So let's get into it without further ado. And thanks so much to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. I'll tell you more about them a little bit later on. So off I went to Facebook Marketplaces and I searched for dining tables. I kept on this search for a couple days and then eventually I was super lucky. I found this table right here. It's the perfect shape, exactly what we're going for. And the best part is it was selling for only $50. So we went ahead and packed this into my in-laws SUV and it just fit in. And then we went ahead and took it on home. And this guy was just a little heavy, so we struggled ever so slightly in bringing it upstairs and back to our apartment. So this is the table that we picked up. It cost $50. It came with a couple chairs, which I sold for $30. So in total, it was only $20, which is super affordable. Honestly, it is the absolute perfect shape we were going for. It's the perfect shape that's being sold. I am super excited to have this as like the base table to work with. Now, one of the really cool things that is gonna surprise all of you is that it has this secret little hidden compartment that acts as a little bit of storage. So you basically just pop open the door and there you have some shelves that you can use as additional storage. So that's definitely what I'm gonna do because I'm always in need of additional storage in my little apartment. So to really upgrade this table to make it the perfect vibe that I'm going for, I'm gonna do two main things. The first thing is I'm gonna turn the tabletop to be a marble look. And it's definitely not gonna be contact paper in case you were wondering what I was gonna do. It's gonna look way more legit than that. And then the second major upgrade that I'm gonna do to this table is actually gonna be to the base. I really wanna add some natural texture and some rounded shapes to really just pull the whole thing together and make it look really nice and unique, but also like it came from one of those high-end stores. So, are you ready to get started? Because I know I am. So I'm just starting off by prepping the surface of the table, and I'm going to use this gloss off product that I have used just once before. You basically pour it onto a cloth and wipe it on, and then once it's dry you just wipe it off with a damp cloth. The next thing I'm going to do is just grab some spackling, and I'm going to be filling in the little wood grains that are all over the table, especially on the sides of the table. I don't want this to look like wood in the end, so this is a very important step. This is so appealing. This is the professional way you're supposed to do things. So after I've got this applied to the whole table, I'm trying to remove the excess here. So I start off by using a ruler. That didn't work. Then I thought, okay, could I just sand the top off? But that was making a big mess. And then I realized I could just wet the area ever so slightly with some paper towel that's been soaked with water and then scrape off the excess with a ruler. And that worked so perfectly. It basically only left the spackling in the grain itself. The next thing I'm gonna do is actually paint the entire tabletop white, and I'm just using some extra wall paint that I had left over. So I'm just rolling that on and covering up all the little spots here. And as you can see, it's not super opaque on the first shot, but that's totally okay. Okay, so this is what it's looking like so far with just one coat of the white paint on top. And it actually looks a bit like marble as is. Looks really cool, but not exactly the look that we're going for. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a second coat of white paint, and then we will turn this into a true marble look. This is such a legit way of doing it. I know. Don't hate. So off I go, just rolling on that next coat, and you can already see that it's becoming super opaque. Now once the solid white is all finished, it's now time to start with the true marble effect. And for that, you're gonna get a couple colors of gray paint and some white and black paint. And I'm basically just adding a little bit of those colors into some cups to mix up the perfect shades of gray to my liking. Next, we're gonna go ahead and grab a sponge. This one is actually a shower sponge from Dollar Tree. And then I'm also grabbing a big paintbrush as well as some little paintbrushes.
And you're gonna take one of those little paintbrushes and start doing some veining across the entire table. Once you have your first veins down, you're gonna take that big paintbrush, dip it in some water, and buff out those lines. It totally blends out and almost disappears, but that's basically what you want because you really want that dimension. So you're just going to repeat that all over the table until you have the veining design that you want. Okay, so I've got kind of like a preliminary design going on. I really like this kind of area, and then I feel like I have too much gray and vines kind of going on in that area. So I've just opened up the original white paint that I was using, and I'm going to take my sponge brush and I'm going to get some of that paint on the sponge and then kind of dab that in the areas where I feel like there's too much gray. I do want to add just a little bit more texture, and using the sponge is a good way to do that. Now you can also just go ahead and add a little bit of the white over any of the sections where you want to just add a little bit more contrast and dimension. Where I've added that white paint in, there's so much more dimension already, and I just love the way that it looks. So pat, 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 adding in more of that dimension. I'm just kind of adding some white accents with the paintbrush right by where I had the gray lines, and then I'm blending it in with the sponge brush. So things are looking pretty good so far, and I just gotta say the hard thing about this type of project is that you just don't want to really stop until it's like perfect, 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 but you can always keep improving on it. The more layers that you add in, the more colors that you add in and then cover up and then blend out, the more dimension you're gonna get to the marble look. And you just gotta like hope that when you know, continue going, you're not like actually messing it up and making it worse than it was before. But either way, even if you mess something up, I guess you can still go ahead and fix it and make a new design. This is where I'm at so far. I'm probably just gonna keep on going. Yeah, add a little bit more dimension here and there. I will say though that once we add that thick epoxy all on it, that's really what makes the whole thing pop and immediately look like marble. So I'm just going ahead and adding some final touches like veins down the sides of the table. And at this point, I think I'm happy with it. So the next thing I'm gonna do is actually add some extra sparkle to the tabletop. So I just grabbed a pack of this glitter from Dollar Tree, and I'm gonna be using the top white color. This is just like a pure white glitter, so I'm just sprinkling that all over, although it literally just looks like I'm sprinkling nothing on the table. Okay, so we have the marble on the tabletop all painted on right here, and the next step we're gonna do is actually make this look really, really proper and legit, like almost real marble. And we're gonna do that by adding a resin top coat. Now, Dalia of the past was ready to do the epoxy pour a couple nights ago, but I realized that the epoxy that I bought actually would yellow over time. And so I decided to put that aside and order a different type of epoxy that will not yellow. Let's get going with mixing up that epoxy and pouring it over this to make it super glossy and super nice. So this is the brand of resin that I'm using, and I use just under half of a gallon of this. Grab a couple disposable cups, a big jug, and then also some gloves so that you don't get any of this sticky stuff on your hands. I'm first just pouring out the right amount into the cups, adding them into the jar, and mixing that as one whole batch. Once I had that done, I just poured it right onto the table, and then after that, I just mixed up another batch of the resin and poured that on top. I then took a little cardboard sheet that I had wrapped in duct tape and just spread that resin all over the sides of the table. In total, I think I did about 3 or 4 different batches of the resin, and because the drying time takes quite a long time, you definitely have the time that you need to work the product to cover all of the edges. Next up, I'm just getting rid of any air bubbles using a little heat gun, but you could also just use a light hair dryer or a torch. And while the resin is still wet, I'm just removing any of those little drips on the bottom of the tabletop. And then I just left that to dry per the instructions. And once it was done, as you can see, it's a perfectly good marble tabletop. Okay, so we have our table base right here, and I thought that it'd be really nice to add some wooden texture to it in a nice light pine color. And you know those designer tables that I was showing you earlier? They look like half round dowels, or dowels that are literally cut in half, added onto there and either painted or left raw wood. And I love that look. So I'm going to try and figure out how we can actually buy that type of product, because
Currently, from what I've seen, it's very, very hard. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do a little bit of research. So I've got my laptop here and I'm about to go down a long road of investigation, okay? Because your basic Google search, which is the first thing you're gonna do, is gonna take you to one of the big box stores like Home Depot or Lowe's. And when you go on that site and do the final calculation, all of the pieces of wood that I would need would cost a grand total of $375. There's gotta be a better way. I keep telling myself there has to be a better way. So off I go searching, search term after search term, more search terms, more search terms, more search terms. Can't find it on page 1, page 2 then, page 3 then. I just know there has to be a better way. And at last, after 20 hours of searching, I find Peacock Lumber. And this is a lumber yard about an hour away from Toronto that just so happens to carry this exact type of trimming in the exact size that I need for a fraction of the cost. When I found it, I knew that this was the option I was gonna go with. Why, you might ask? Because the cost from Peacock Lumber is a grand total of $55. Now, can you imagine that if I had bought this from a big box store, it would have been so many more times the price? Crazy. Just can't believe it. So now that I found where I want to get the half round dowels from, let's go on and head to the lumber yard. There's the guy packing up my dowels. Woohoo. So I just wanted to tell you a little bit more about Squarespace because they are the sponsor of today's video and I love them so much. They are an all-in-one website platform and they basically make it so beyond simple to create a stunning website. They have templates that you can pick from that are just gorgeous to fit any kind of brand that you could want. They have all the tools that you need for selecting a URL, buying a URL, for setting up a site to make it e-commerce ready so you can actually sell product if you want to. They also have the type of templates that you could have just to have a blog or a personal website. So I just think they're so awesome. I've used them before and they are just a pleasure to work with. I can't say enough good things about them, so I highly recommend. Their designs are also mobile friendly, so no matter what template you pick, there will be a version of it that's optimized for mobile and still looks stunning and perfectly on trend. So you guys, head on over to squarespace.com if you want to start your own website and you'll get a free trial. And then when you're actually ready to launch your site, you can go to squarespace.com/DIY to get 10% off your first purchase of a domain or a website. Okay, now without further ado, let's get back into flipping this dining table into becoming the dining table of my dreams. So now that we've got all of our half rounds purchased from the lumber yard, now it's time to cut them to size. So to try and actually make the cuts as accurate as possible so that they're all the same kind of length, I'm going to first cut out an MDF board to the exact right length, and then I'm going to draw on cut lines for that length on all of the half round pieces. So let's go ahead and get to that. As you know, I'm scared of electric saws. So this is us just making progress here, you know, not being intimidated by different projects. So let's go. So I'm just taking my trusty tape measure and measuring the MDF board to size for how long I need each of these dowels to be. I'm just cutting it using my miter saw, and then let's see how our first cut turns out. It's a perfect fit. Yay! So that worked lovely. However, I am gonna try and just use the round piece that I've cut to size as the new guide because I think it'll fit easier in the saw cutting section. So let me go ahead and try that, and if that works, we will cut all the other pieces to size. And that worked out so much better. Basically what I'm doing is I'm lining up the guide piece, pulling the saw down to make sure that it's the exact right length, removing my guide piece, and then making the cut. And then I just proceeded to do that over and over and over until I had the right number of pieces for the whole table. And now that I have all my little pieces cut to size, we can move right along. Okay, so currently to open this,
there's no like push-in mechanism. You have to like put your hand through this hole and push out the cabinet door. But because I'm gonna be covering this hole, that's not gonna work. So I'm thinking I'm gonna remove this mechanism, which makes it such a firm hold to be closed. And I think I'm gonna use this thing, which I got off of one of my thrifted cabinets. And it is one of like the little push things. And I'm thinking what I'll do is I'll make it so that, actually I'm not 100% sure how this is gonna work yet, but we'll figure it out. So I'm just going ahead and uninstalling the existing mechanism and then reinstalling the new one that I have. And once that's all done, it works perfectly. Next up, I'm gonna grab some glue. I actually picked up this stuff called Instant Bond, and it's a new system I've never used before. Okay, I just did a test using that glue and it glued together in like 5 seconds, literally. This is completely so stuck. I didn't even put that much glue. Okay, so I gotta be careful-ish when I use this, I think. Like, it is insanely stuck. What is this stuff? Okay, let's do this. So I'm just starting off by applying a line of glue, and then I'm spraying the activator onto the half-round dowel trim, and then just putting it right on, and it is instantly stuck. So just repeating this once again with another piece and sticking that on, and just doing that continuously over and over and over. It took me about 40 minutes to apply all of the pieces on, but this glue is, I swear, the easiest, fastest product to ever work with. I loved it so much. Now for the last dowel, which is actually going to cover the hinge of the secret door, I'm actually just attaching it with command strips so that I can remove that one dowel and open the door. Otherwise, there's not enough space for the door to swing open. And after putting that last dowel in place, my table is now ready to go.
So pumped with how the table turned out. I think it's so pretty. The whole shape and style and simplicity to it is just bang on perfect, and I definitely think that you could get this at a high-end store for that price tag that I was never willing to pay. And also, I think there's just so much satisfaction to making something yourself. I want to know what you think about how this table turned out. I hope you like it as much as I do, and I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video and for subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate it because you're really helping my dreams come true, and that is so invaluable. That means everything to me. So thank you so much, and I will see you again next time. Bye.